Hey guys, my name's Gavin. I'm an English teacher here at the Dublin Academy. So I just wanted to take 2 minutes to talk to you about the weekly grind schedule that we're going to engage in this year. I'm a day school teacher here, but I also teach grinds in the evening, both on the north and south side. And effectively what we're looking at is we've got a schedule of 29 classes, and what we end up covering is absolutely everything. So we cover the entire course within those 29 classes. So what we typically do is we start off before Christmas and we start looking at our paper 1 paper, which is again an area that is typically neglected, which is crazy considering we're working off 50% on paper 1 and 50% on paper 2. So in terms of the overview of the course, let's just take 2 seconds here. In terms of paper 1, we start in terms of the weekly grinds. We start looking at a little bit of question A. We kind of ease into it a little bit. You can see here that that's 50 marks, 12.5% of your entire course. We'll look at our question B questions as well, which is again, we'll talk about PAOR, purpose, audience and register, actually engaging with the question that's being asked. Again, 12.5%, and then we'll move on to our section 2, our essay writing. We'll look at our categories of language. Our acronym for that is APAIN, which is argument, persuasion, aesthetic and information and narration, and we'll make sure that we get our categories of language nailed down so that we can attack our essay-based question. Again, you can see here it's a massive chunk. 25% of our entire English grade will be focused on our ability to understand those categories of language. So that'll pretty much take us up to Christmas. So again, just before Christmas, we'll start engaging with our paper 2 material, which again, as I know, where all the fear and trepidation lies with our Shakespeare and our poetry. But with regards to our paper 2, in terms of our marking scheme, we're going to look at our single text. And we go through a hell of a lot on, well, this year for you current 6th years, we're going to go through Hamlet, and then for our 5th years, we're going to go through King Lear, and we get a massive chunk. So for you guys considering the 5th year grinds, your entire King Lear course will be covered within 5th year. So effectively you get to go into 6th year having no fears and no worry about kind of the types of question that's going to come up for King Lear. So that's what we're going to look at very, very early on in the grinds as well. Then we move on to our comparative. Again, huge chunk of our marking scheme. Again, 17.5%, 70 marks going for that. And what we do here in the Academy is we treat the comparative in a very kind of unique way. We really focus on the modes, we really focus on the questions that are potentially coming up. Again, a lot of people worried about, what text are you going to cover in a grind school? What if the grind school teacher isn't doing the same text as myself? That doesn't matter here, okay? We'll give you a huge amount of notation in terms of a myriad of different texts, but also then we really go through the questions, we really go through the modes. Then we move on to our poetry, which is everybody's favorite topic. And again, you can see again, collectively 17.5% again. Thankfully we were fortunate to get all 4 of our predictions done this year, which was great. But again, predictions are a big part of it. Again, remove that fear, remove that trepidation. And again, we go through how to attack the poetry question. Typically, your poetry questions have 2 parts. We'll show you how to deal with both parts. We'll show you how to either go poem by poem or point by point. And again, we'll explain all that in the grinds as well. And then finally, we move on to unseen poetry. Again, you say 5%, not a hell of a lot, but ultimately it's the difference between a grade point. It's the difference between that H1, H2, or that H2 and a H3. And we'll tell you within those 22 minutes how to go about getting the most out of them. Again, examiners want you to do well here, and we'll show you how to do that. Okay, so guys, that's been a very brief overview in terms of what we're going to be looking at in our 29 classes this year. My name's Gavin, I hope to see you there. Cheers.